Hello everybody, Gary Crosby here. I'm an action coach, business coach. In this video, I want to show you how you can increase the prices of your products and services in your business without fear. All right, so let me start off with a quick question for you. When was the last time that you increased the prices of your products and services? You know, as we come out of the pandemic, we think about the new business environment. Your labor costs are probably increasing. Maybe your material costs are increasing. Are you absorbing those price increases and squeezing your margins so that you make less profit? Well, that's a good reason for you to think about increasing your prices. What I'm going to do is use a combination of two things. A really good example from a client of mine who did this successfully, and then some simple mathematics to show you the impact of increasing the prices in your business. Now, in my coaching experience, the main reason that business owners don't increase their prices regularly is fear. That's false expectations appearing real. They think, for example, that existing customers are going to desert them, or they think it's going to be really difficult for them to get new customers, or sometimes they just really don't want the confrontation of telling people that they've increased their prices. And this fear, false expectations appearing real, can hold them back from taking the right step in their business. Now, to illustrate this fear, I want to share with you a story about a former client of mine that I'm going to call Dave. Now, Dave runs a skip hire company, and every week he puts out 100 skips to his customers. And I said to Dave, when was the last time, Dave, that you put your prices up? And he kind of held his hands up and said to me, well, it was about 4 years ago. And I said, well, that doesn't really make sense because your costs must have increased during that time. We did a bit of mystery shopping. We discovered that Dave was actually one of the cheapest skip providers in the area. And when I asked him about how good his service was, he very proudly said to me, well, we're one of the best. Now, when we do the maths on this, we can see what happens when Dave finally puts his prices up. Right at the beginning, the average price for a skip was £250. So at this point, Dave's got a really good little business running. He's making £25,000 a week in revenue, or £100,000 a month. And I said to Dave, well, okay, if you haven't put your prices up for 4 years, then it's about time that we did that. But I could see all of that fear coming out, of existing customers deserting him, of it being difficult for him to get new customers. But with coaching, we looked at the benefits and the risks of increasing prices, and eventually he said to me, Gary, I'm prepared to put my prices up by 2%. Now, the false expectations that Dave had about the impact on his business of increasing the prices by just 2% turned out not to be real. The same number of skips go out of the door every week, but now the average sale value is a little bit higher. There's £500 a week more revenue coming in, £2,000 a month more revenue coming in. Dave's business wasn't negatively affected by the price rise, it was really positively affected. Later on, he increased prices by 5% and was £60,000 a year better off as a result of overcoming his fear of increasing prices. All right, so one other way to think about this is to visualize it on a chart and look at the impact that increasing prices have. Let me talk you through this chart. In the left-hand column, we've got the amount by which you would like to increase your prices. Along the top, we've got your gross profit margin. And I've got some examples here. The actual chart is much bigger. So if this doesn't quite fit and you'd like a copy of the real chart, get in touch and we'll make sure we send you one. So what does this mean? The numbers in blue indicate the amount by which your sales would have to fall before you'd be worse off having made a price increase. So let's use an example. 40% gross profit margin, 8% price increase. Your sales would have to fall by 17% before you are worse off overall. So this will hopefully dispel some of the fear you might have around increasing prices by linking it to the way your sales volume might change. So hopefully that's been useful for you, and it's helping to dispel the fear you might have about increasing prices in your business. What my coaching has taught me over the last few years is that fear that business owners have is a false expectation appearing real. And most customers don't notice small price increases. Your best customers understand and appreciate why you've done it as well. So one final question for you. What would it take for you to increase the prices in your business right now. If you'd like to discuss it further, then get in touch. It would be really good to have a conversation.